So put your feet hip width apart. Make sure you got even pressure in both feet. Soften your knees, roll your shoulders down away from your ears and lengthen up through the crown of your head. Just taking a really deep breath in and then letting it go. And again, another big breath in and letting it go. Inhale, both arms up above your head, interlace your fingers, push your palms towards the ceiling, lengthen up, and then just lean over towards the right. Just getting that stretch down the left side of your body. And then back to the center. And over to the left. And back to the center. Releasing your arms. And just beginning to roll your shoulders. And then add your elbows in. If it's not comfortable to do two at a time, just do one at a time. And the whole arms. Just warming up through your shoulders. And stopping at the top and going the other way. So noticing all the punchy bits. And stop at the top. Do one arm forward and one back. Don't overthink it. Maybe try closing your eyes. And stop at the top and go in the opposite direction. One more. And release. I'm just going to mobilize through our spine. So again, keep your knees soft, take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck your chin in, slowly start to roll forward. Let your hands reach towards the floor. They don't have to make it all the way. When you're as far as you can get, breathe in. And then as you exhale, roll slowly back up. And again, take a breath in. Exhale, tuck your chin, slowly rolling forward. When you get to the bottom, inhale, and then exhale, rolling back up. And one more time, breathing in. Exhale, tuck your chin, rolling forward. Keep the knees soft. When you get to the bottom this time, just hold it there. Just allow your head to hang, extending through your neck. Bend your knees as much as you need to bring your hands to the floor, and then just walk them forward so that you can come down onto your hands and knees. So just making sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. I'm just going to do a few cat-cows. So start with an in-breath. As you exhale, lift the center of your back towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin in and tuck your tailbone under. Then as you breathe in, drop your tummy towards the floor, eyes and tailbone towards the ceiling. And again, breathing out, curling up like a cat. And breathing thighs and tailbone up. Let's do 2 more each way with your breath. Breathing out to lift. And breathing in to drop back down through the center. Last one. And then come back to a neutral spine. Raise your right arm towards me and your left leg back. And then just square your hips up. So pull your belly button up towards the ceiling and just find your focus. Using your core strength, try not to sink through the shoulders, so you don't want to be down low. Push the floor away. That's it. And release back down. Try the other side, so left arm, right leg. Find that extension, square your hips off, pull your belly button upwards. Make sure that you're breathing, don't hold your breath. And release back down. Keep your big toes together, take your knees to the edges of your mat and then sit your butt back, bringing your butt towards your heels. If you need to, you can put a bolster or a block or cushions in between your calf muscle and your butt. If you can't get your hips all the way back, then walk your hands as far forward as you can. And just bring your chin or your chest or your forehead towards the floor. So you want to feel the extension through your back, that nice stretch. Just try slowing your breath. Each time you breathe out, just see if you can sink a little more. Stretching through your armpits, softening through your spine. Two more slow, deep breaths. And just begin to walk your hands back towards your knees, bringing yourself up onto your knees. Bringing them so that your knees are hip width apart again. We're going to do a toe sit. So tuck your toes under and sit back onto your heels. If this is not comfortable, leave your hands on the floor. So you feel a nice stretch through the soles of your feet, through your toes. And again, if you need to, pop a cushion or a block underneath between your calf and thigh muscles so that you can feel that stretch in your feet. Isn't that joyful? No, it's not. I figured we haven't done this one for a while, so we should probably do it. Maybe after a couple of breaths you can go a little bit deeper. Maybe it's too much and you stay on your hands. Just notice where you feel it. Is it your big toe? Is it the sole of your foot? And just breathe. Just 2 more breaths. Walk them forward and just untuck the toes and lift your feet. Notice what you feel, the blood coming back into your toes, maybe some tingling. Just notice how that feels. And slowly lower your feet to the floor. Bring your right foot in between your hands. Help it if it needs it. You can drag it up, take as long as you like. Then bring all of your weight forward. Once you get as far forward as you can, just make sure that your knee sits right over the top of your ankle. And just see if you can let your hips move towards your front heel. Just try and make sure that that front foot is flat on the floor. And just notice where you feel the stretch. Through the hip flexor of your left leg, the hamstring glute of your right leg. And as you breathe, just see if you can go a little bit deeper. So let your hips move a little bit further forward. That might be enough for you. You can stay right there if it is. If it's too much, bring yourself up onto some blocks. But if you want a little more, bring your hands to the inside of the foot and then slowly start to lower. Maybe you just have your elbows bent just a little bit, or maybe you come all the way down onto your forearms. Maybe you're on one forearm and one hand. Just do what's right for you. There should be no pressure in your front knee at all. Just a strong stretch. Just finding the stillness, using your breath to let go of the tension. Deep breaths. If you've come down onto your elbows, bring yourself back up onto your hands. Shift your weight into your back leg, straightening through the front leg and pointing the toes up to the ceiling. So have like a little micro bend, don't overextend. Then breathe in and lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, see if you can move your chest a little bit closer to the thigh. And again, if you need to, come up onto blocks if it's too strong. You want a nice stretch, there should be no pain. Weight of your body and gravity slowly stretch a little bit deeper. hands forward. And then just bring that leg back. I'm going to change sides. So left foot steps in between your hands. Bring your weight as far forward as you can. If you need to, come up onto blocks. Just drop your hips forward towards that front heel. Notice the difference between each side. Maybe you can go a little bit further on this side than you did on the other. You can stay here if you like, or bring the hand to the inside of the foot. And again, just maybe start to bend the elbows. Maybe you can go a little bit lower on this side. Or maybe you can come all the way down onto your forearms. Finding the breath. Releasing the tension with your out breath. Two more slow breaths. If you've come down, come back up onto your hands. Moving the weight into your back leg. Again, straighten the front leg, toes point up. Inhale to lengthen up through your spine. And exhale, see if you can lower your chest towards the thigh. Notice the difference again. Just 2 more breaths. And bending your front knee. Step that foot back and come into a wide-legged child pose again. So use bolsters, cushions, blocks between your thighs and your calf muscles if you need to. Bring your hips back as close to your heels as you can get them, reaching your arms forward. Just noticing the sensations around your hips, your thighs, your lower back. 2 more breaths. And bring yourself all the way forward onto your tummy. Bring your elbows so that they're directly underneath your shoulders. Then press firmly through your forearms as you lift up through your chest. So you want to bring your floating ribs, the bottom set of ribs, forward to get the stretch right through the front of your body. So try not to hunch down. You really want to push the floor away. You can stay here if you like, but if you want a little more and your back can cope with it, slowly push into the palms of your hands and just lift your elbows to start with. Then if you can go a little further, maybe straighten your arms. At any point you can come back down onto your forearms. There should be no pain. And just even out your breath. Just slow breaths in and out through your nose. Come up into seal pose, just slowly lower your forearms back into Sphinx. Then bring your hands together so your palms are facing down with the one hand on top of the other. Take your elbows out wide and bring your forehead to rest on the tops of your hands. Try and soften your neck, your shoulders. Feeling what's going on in your lower back. One more breath. We're going to come into a shoulder stretch. So just lifting your head, take your arms out into the T shape at shoulder height. Turn your head and bring your face to the floor so that you're facing the left. Slide your left hand in so it's beside your chest. And then gently press into that hand and roll yourself up onto the right hand side, but only to that point where you're getting the stretch in that right shoulder. So you might come up just a little way and bring your top leg forward so the knee's bent on the floor. If that's enough for your shoulder, stay with that. Otherwise, you can roll all the way up onto your right side and just notice how that is for your shoulder. If you need to put a cushion underneath your head, go right ahead. If you want a little more, bend your top leg and bring the foot to the floor behind your other leg. Notice how that changes the stretch. And then maybe if you still want more, raise your left arm and wrap it around behind you.
Just noticing the stretch in your right shoulder. You can back it off at any time if it's too much. Just 2 more breaths. And if your left hand is behind you, bring it forward. If your left leg is behind you, just stack your legs one on top of the other. Gently roll yourself back onto your tummy. Keep your head facing the left and just bring your arms down beside you. Just notice the difference between your shoulders. Just one more breath. And then bringing your arms out to shoulder height again, we're going to do the other side. So bring your head to the floor so that you're facing the right. Slide your right hand in beside your chest and then gently start to press, rolling yourself onto your left shoulder. So again, maybe bending that top leg, bring the knee to the floor to support you. Otherwise, all the way onto your left side. Maybe bringing your top foot behind you. See what feels okay for your shoulder. And for a little more, taking your right arm and wrapping it around behind. behind you, bring it back in front. Bring your top leg either straight on top or in front again, and gently roll back onto your tummy. Stay facing the right and then just sliding your arms down beside you. One more breath. And bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up and bring yourself all the way around to sitting. So tuck your left leg in and bring your right foot to just sit on the floor in front of it if that's enough for you. You can support underneath your knees with cushions or blocks if you need to. If you want a little bit more of a hip stretch, pick up your right foot and either put it on your calf or up on your knee. So you want both sit bones to be sitting on the floor, and you're going to feel a stretch through your hips. Take a breath in and lift, and as you exhale, just bring your chest forward. You can bring your hands forward if you need to, and just start to feel the stretch through the outside of your hips. And as you breathe out, maybe lowering your chest a little bit closer towards your legs. Just make sure both sit bones stay on the floor. One more breath here. And bringing yourself back upright. Uncrossing your legs. We're going to cross them the other way. So right foot tucked in the closest this time, left foot maybe just sitting on the floor, up on your calf or up on your knee. Both sit bones even on the floor. Lengthening up as you breathe in and folding forward as you breathe out. Just try not to hunch your shoulders, relax your neck. Just finding that spot where you're just getting a nice stretch.
Just notice what you're feeling in your hips, where it's feeling tight. See if you can let that go. Two more slow, deep breaths. And bringing yourself back upright. Uncrossing your legs. We're going to come into the rebound pose. So legs are straight, lay down on your back, arms just beside your body. Just notice the energy running through your legs. Behind your knees, blood returning to your feet. One more breath. And just bringing both knees into your chest. Keep your chin tucked in and just gently rolling backwards and forwards along your spine, giving yourself a massage. And then eventually coming up to sitting. Extending your right leg, step your left foot across the right leg, wrap your right arm around, push your other hand into the floor and lengthen up. And then as you breathe out, just turn to look towards the left. Making sure both sit bones are on the floor.
slowing your breath down. Two more breaths. Coming back to the center. Uncross the leg, bring the foot to the knee or the thigh, whichever's more comfortable for your knee. Make sure again both sit bones are on the floor. Take a breath in and raise your arms. And as you exhale, fold yourself forward. Just let your hands land wherever they do. Soften your shoulders. Two more breaths. And coming back up to sit. Extend your left leg. Bend your right leg and step it over the left. Left arm wraps around. Lifting tall as you press into the floor, and then exhale just to evolve through your spine to look to the right. Two more breaths. Coming back to the center. Uncross your right leg, bring the foot to the knee or up to the thigh if it's comfortable for you. Sitting on both sit bones, breathe in, raise your arms, and exhale, folding forward. Again, just relax your shoulders. Feeling the stretch through the back of your leg, through your glute, through your lower back. breath here. And coming back to sitting up straight. Extend your leg, just give your legs a little bit of a shake out. And take your legs as wide as you comfortably can. You might want to be sitting up on a block or a blanket, just as long as you're sitting upright and tall. Breathe in, lengthen up, and breathe out. Just start to walk your hands forward. So you want to try and not hunch over and tuck your chin in. You want to lead with the chest and come forward from there. So you're going to get a stretch through the inside of your hips and thighs, maybe into your lower back. If you have any discomfort or pain beneath your knees here, pop them up a little bit. So you want to hinge here rather than trying to hunch over. Just use your breath as you exhale. Maybe you can creep your fingers a little further forward. Just notice where it feels tense. Let it go. Just finding the stillness on the edge of your pose. Just 2 more slow deep breaths. And walking your hands back. Bring your legs back in, coming back into that rebound pose. So laying on your back, arms beside you. Feel the backs of your thighs, your inner hips. One more breath. And bring both knees in towards your chest. Take your arms out wide at shoulder height. And then just slowly take your knees over to the right. If you need to put a cushion or block or bolster underneath your knees, please do that. You're aiming to get both shoulders on the floor. And just making sure there's no tension in your neck. You can look straight up to the ceiling or maybe towards the left. Last breath here. Drawing your belly button towards your spine, bring your knees up through the center. And take them over to the left. Just adjust, making sure both shoulders are on the floor. And there's no tension in your neck. One more breath. Belly button to spine, bring your knees up to the center. Bring your feet to the floor and then just extend your legs long. You can keep your arms out wide if that's comfortable, or just bring them down beside your body. Just making any little adjustments that you need to for Shavasana, so maybe putting a bolster underneath your knees, a cushion underneath your head, grabbing any layers, make sure you're warm enough. Nice, slow, deep breath in. Let it go with a sigh.
mass of your body. Softening through your toes, the soles of your feet. Relaxing your ankles. Your calf muscles and your shins. Releasing around your knees. Softening your thighs. Take another deep breath in. And as you sigh it out, release through your glutes and your hips. Let your pelvis sink towards the floor. Soften your tummy. Release through your lower back. Just allowing the weight of your body to be supported by the floor. Releasing through your spine. Through your ribs. Softening your shoulders. Begin to relax down your arms. Through your elbows. Your forearms. Your wrists. Soften the palms of your hands. Notice the gentle curl of your fingers and your thumbs. Feel where the back of your head touches the floor. And just notice your expression. Letting go of any tension out of your jaw, softening your tongue and your lips. Relaxing your cheeks, your nose, the muscles around your eyes. Smooth out your forehead. And just allow your whole body to be heavy. Allowing yourself to have this time to just stop and be still. Time to connect with your breath. Slow, deep breaths.
that breath at the top. Now let it go as slowly as you possibly can. Completely emptying your lungs. Notice how your body feels. Notice any sensations, your hands, your feet, face. And very gently start to move your toes, your fingers. Maybe reaching your arms above your head if that feels good for you, having a full body stretch. Just taking your time. And bring your knees towards your chest. Slowly opening your eyes. And then when you're ready, bringing yourself up to sitting. Take a big deep breath in, together raise your arms. Breathing out, bring hands through to your center. Namaste.
Namaste.
Nice job, everybody. Well done.
Thanks, Tracey. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Good feeling.